Worried about gout? Check out Ural, the effective urinary alkalinizer. Ural, neutralize your uric acid problem now.
This is KiniNews and I'm your host Prasad. If you think the chief of the MACC is answerable to you, the Malaysian public, I'd suggest you think again, because according to him, he's only answerable to the advisory panel and not the public.
MACC Chief Commissioner Azam Baki broke his silence today, only to say he did nothing wrong.
Saya tidak tampil untuk menjelaskan kepada mana pihak-pihak awam kerana saya tidak melakukan apa-apa jua kesalahan maupun ada konflik of interest seperti mana saya sebutkan tadi.
He told the Anti-Corruption Advisory Board that his trading account was used by his brother to acquire shares in 2 companies in 2015. He also said he is answerable only to the MACC Corruption Prevention Advisory Board.
Sebenarnya, tiada keperluan pun kalau saya nak jelaskan kepada sesiapa. Seperti mana yang telah saya jelaskan kepada pengurusi LPPR dan juga ahli-ahlinya. Pembelian-pembelian saham itu bukan dilakukan oleh saya, tetapi oleh adik saya yang meminjam akaun saya pada ketika itu. Namun, apabila saya diminta untuk menjelaskan perkara ini kepada lembaga LPPR, saya telah berbuat demikian dan saya telah memberi penerangan terperinci kepada mereka. Sebagai KPSPRM, saya adalah answerable hanya kepada LPPR.
At a press conference today, board chairperson Abu Zahar Ujang said Azam had appeared before the board on November 24th to explain himself. Abu Zahar said they were satisfied with Azam's explanation.
Pembelian saham-saham tersebut dibuat di pasaran saham terbuka, open market, dan tiada sebarang pencanggahan kepentingan bagi pembelian saham-saham berkenaan pada tahun 2015. Walau bagaimanapun, kesemua saham-saham tersebut telah dipindahkan semula kepada Azam Baki dalam tahun berkaitan.
According to Axel Force Berhad's 2015 annual report, Azam owned over 2.1 million warrants in the company as of March 21st, 2016. At the time, Azam was the head of MACC's investigation division.
Setelah berbincang dengan panjang lebar, ahli-ahli LPPR berpendapat bahawa Tan Sri Azam tiada sebarang kepentingan pecuniary maupun beneficial ke atas saham-saham berkenaan. Justru LPPR berpuas hati dengan penjelasan yang diberikan dan mendapati tiada sebarang pelakuan jenayah ataupun conflict of interest.
Abu Zahar said the board had intended to make the matter public, but former MACC's consultation and corruption prevention panel member Edmund Terence Gomez beat them to it.
Some good news for Anwar Ibrahim. Dr. Mahathir Mohamad does not wish to return as Prime Minister for the 3rd time.
Former Prime Minister Dr. Mahathir Mohamad has ruled out becoming the country's Prime Minister for the 3rd time. Speaking to City Plus FM today, Mahathir said he was too old for the job, although he could still function. He also said the workload would be too heavy, however, he could lend the Prime Minister his support. Mahathir, who will turn 97 this July, added that although as a person he could not become the Prime Minister, his party is still very keen to have him take up the top job. However, he refused to reveal whether he will run for Parliament again during the next election. He said his party wants him to contest, though he doesn't think he should. Mahathir is the chairperson of Pejuang, a party he co-founded after being sacked from Bersatu.
Mahathir may be out of the race to become Prime Minister again, but Mukri's comments about Anwar never becoming one has warranted a response from PKR.
Mukris Mahathir appears to have ticked off several PKR leaders after saying Anwar Ibrahim's time has passed. Pasir Gudang MP Hassan Abdul Karim said, as weak as Mukris has made Anwar out to be, Anwar is still the PKR president, Harapan chairperson and opposition leader in Parliament. Meanwhile, Hassan said as mighty as Mukris is as a son of nobility, it doesn't hide the fact that he was overthrown twice as Kedah Menteri Besar halfway through his terms. He also said Mukris has never held the post of Kedah Menteri Besar from the beginning to end like other Menteri Besars. Other party leaders who echoed Hassan's views were Perak PKR Chief Farash Wafa Salvador Rizal Mubarak and Party Communications Director Fahmi Fadzil. Farhash claimed that the same could be said for Mukris and Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, who are not doing any better. Meanwhile, Fahmi said it was not within Mukri's right to comment on Anwar's position, as it's a decision for Pakatan Harapan to make.
Malaysia's newest and youngest political party was caught in a storm on social media today after certain pictures surfaced.
Flood relief funds were not used to purchase alcoholic drinks for Muda party members, according to party president Syed Saddiq Syed Abdul Rahman. The denial comes after images depicting a group of people dressed in Muda t-shirts consuming beer went viral on social media. In response, Syed Saddiq stressed that all flood relief funds went to flood victims and nothing else. The Muar MP also called it the most ridiculous accusation of all, and that all matters are recorded and will be audited. In his statement, Syed Saddiq did not confirm or deny whether the people in the images were indeed party members. Instead, he affirmed that Muda is a multiracial party and hit out at critics for resorting to non-issues and outdated tactics. As such, he said it is not an offence for non-Muslims to drink alcohol unless they were driving.
Now we have a message from our sponsors. When we're back, find out why Ong Kian Ming thinks it's a bad idea to allow for more EPF withdrawals.
Pening, tangan dan kaki kebas, letih. Ini mungkin tanda peredaran darah kurang baik. Cubalah Thomson Activated Ginkgo dengan teknologi aktivasi dari Jepun yang menghancurkan ginkgo biloba dan melekat pada dinding usus untuk penyerapan lebih baik bagi membantu memperbaiki peredaran darah. Kawalan kualiti memastikan ia mudah larut dengan daun muda ginkgo dari Jepun. Untuk peredaran darah yang lebih baik, cubalah Thomson Activated Ginkgo. Ini adalah Medifax untuk Thomson.
Populist and financially irresponsible. That's how one MP has described the push by certain UMNO leaders to allow for more EPF withdrawals.
DAP lawmaker Ong Kian Ming has criticised former Prime Minister Najib Abdul Razak and Bagan Dato MP Ahmad Zahid Hamidi for repeatedly calling for more EPF withdrawals. Ong said Najib's call for more EPF withdrawals is an indication that he is not thinking of the long-term interests of EPF contributors. This is after the fund revealed that 3.6 million account holders, 55% of which are Bumiputra members, have less than 1,000 ringgit in their accounts. Ong added that Najib appears to be resorting to increasingly populist and financially irresponsible ways of appealing to the public. He also said Zahid is following a similar tactic by calling for EPF withdrawals to continue. In the same statement, Ong cautioned the Rakyat from believing the populist measures taken on by Najib and Zahid. Ong also hoped that more reasonable voices within the UMNO leadership could come out to share concerns about these repeated calls for the Rakyat to dip into their own EPF savings.
One PAS leader is not about to give up on the dysfunctional marriage between UMNO and PAS. According to him, it's not over.
PAS Central Committee member Nick Abdul Aziz wants his party to maximise efforts to work out an arrangement with UMNO and Perikatan Nasional to prevent three-cornered fights in the next general election due next year. Nick Abdul insisted that there is no dead end and negotiation efforts should continue. This is despite UMNO and PAS relations having soured because the Islamist party refuses to ditch PN, which is led by Bersatu. Nick Abdul added that this is consistent with the party's Shura Council decision to strengthen both PN and Muafakat Nasional. Muafakat is a pact between UMNO and PAS, while PN is a coalition comprising Bersatu, PAS, GPS, STAR and SAPP. However, UMNO also leads the BN coalition with its partners MCA, MIC and PBRS. The dominant faction in UMNO is gearing BN up for a clash with PN. This was also demonstrated in last November's Melaka polls, where BN clashed with PN and Pakatan Harapan. BN emerged victorious, securing 2/3 majority in the State Assembly. PN only managed to pick 2 seats through Bersatu, while PAS failed to win anything.
If you're a mosque goer in Johor, you'll no longer need to keep a 1-meter distance during prayers.
The physical distancing requirement for congregational prayers in Johor will be reduced by half. This means people who are required to maintain a 1-meter distance can now move closer to 0.5 meters. The decision was announced in a joint statement by the Johor Islamic Religious Department, State Exco in charge of Islamic Affairs, and the Johor Mufti. The announcement was shared on the Johor ruler Sultan Ibrahim Sultan Iskandar's Facebook page. According to the announcement, the Johor Fatwa Council made the decision to uphold the state ruler's decree. The State Fatwa Council also decided that a Solat Hajat will be held daily after the Solat Fardu Maghrib at Johor Mosque and Surau. The allowable time for ceramah and sermons was also extended from 1 hour to 2 hours.
And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to KiniTV.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube and Facebook for the latest news updates. If you'd like to support independent media, do consider subscribing to MalaysiaKini.com. I'm Prasad. Thank you for watching.